Bands of Mourning was so good. I wish this series would go on forever. Seriously, this should be the Wax and Wayne series. I don't have a ton to say about the characters because this is the third book in a series, but Bands of Mourning does have one scene that really highlights the characters that I loved so much. It's the scene where the crew shows up to a hotel and their just character quirks are just out there on display, and it is so amazing. I'm pretty sure I laughed out loud several times during this scene. It was just pure fun. I love the dynamic of this ever-growing cast of characters. Speaking of an ever-growing cast, Bands of Mourning has some world expansion, and along with that world expansion comes characters from different cultures, and I loved it and I want more. Speaking of an expanded world, the entire Mistborn series, Era 1 and Era 2, has taken place in generally the same area, and Era 2 in the same town. And in Bands of Mourning, that expansion is so wonderful. Not only does it feel like a much needed expansion on the world, it also is just really intriguing. I want more expansion. Like, to be honest, I want to know all of Scadrial, and seriously, Brandon, like 20 more books. Let's just explore the whole world. I know you can do it. 20 more books, that's all I'm asking.
Hello.
Sure, Kevin. All right, a Wax and Wayne novel for every like this video gets.
A lot of Bands of Mourning was super engaging. It had a very Indiana Jones feel to it, which I loved. It seriously like made every adventure gene in my body just sing. Another huge point that I want to bring up is the entry into the Cosmere that we get in Bands of Mourning. So far, Mistborn Era 1 and even Mistborn Era 2 up to this point has just kind of taken place in its own little space. And for the first time, we see a larger expansion on the Cosmere coming into Mistborn. Mostly, we get a larger understanding of the overall Cosmere magic system, but there were some other clues here and there. I'm dying to understand the larger Cosmere magic system and hopefully be able to piece together some of these mysteries that are hidden within Brandon Sanderson's books. I wish I could understand it all, but it just keeps getting bigger and expanding, and while I love that, I also want to be able to understand it all. Finally, I do have one negative thing to say about this book, and that is a message from Brandon Sanderson at the end of the book. Brandon tells us, "I have just released a special digital-only novella that is intended to be read after the Bands of Mourning, though it takes place during the events of the original Mistborn trilogy, 10 years in the making. Mistborn Secret History might answer a few of your questions. There's always another secret." Now, my big complaint about this, I was a little disappointed with Mistborn A Secret History because it didn't really clear anything up for me. It did reveal some stuff to me that I didn't know, but I didn't feel like it cleared anything up from Bands of Mourning. It was kind of disappointing just to not really have Mistborn A Secret History really have something to do with Bands of Mourning. With the next book coming out in November, seriously, I'm so excited. That's so close. I am super interested to hear what you guys think is going to happen in the next book, or maybe there are some things that you hope will get answered. Either way, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to chat with you guys about it. If Detective Fantasy is your thing, check out this video on your screen for my opinions on the first of the Dresden Files series. And as always, thanks for joining the adventure.